Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well out there in the world of Creighton Nation. This is Matt DeMarinis, and you know what? There was just too much of a void of no live college basketball going on, so the mastermind behind all the brilliant ideas we have on Scurry and the Scrub, Jordan Scurry, said, you know what? Let's record this some commentary. So we hit up Toby Hegner, Wisconsin boy, and we're going to rewatch Creighton's 79-67 win over number 9 Wisconsin back in 2016. A win that kind of reintroduced Creighton to I guess the college basketball world in a sense, because there was a 2-year gap there from the Doug years that people were wondering if Creighton was going to be able to be a player on the national stage without Doug's greatness. And this game was kind of they're good, they'll be all right. So yeah, this will be fun to rewatch. I haven't rewatched them.
And this was really my welcome to college moment, man. This was really when it hit, and I was like, oh, wow, this is big boy basketball. This was one of the first big games I ever was a part of. And I wasn't even really a part of it. Toby was, so that's why we had to really bring him in here. Appreciate you for coming out here, Toby, and, finally getting with us, even for putting us off for 5 months. But glad you could be here today.
I'm a busy guy, You got to adapt to my schedule. I don't adapt to yours. Come on, now. You know better.
Wow, you really must be doing well in the world to have this type of confidence now coming on our podcast, huh?
I appreciate y'all letting me be a part of this. Definitely one of the better games of my career. I didn't affect a lot of this game, but it was definitely.
See, here you go with this again. Didn't affect a lot of this game when you made some of the most impactful plays of this game. I think even just watching it here now early, it's crazy to think that we were on the scout team for this game together.
That is true. That is true.
You were on the scout team grinding all week and then still stepped up in some big moments in this game. So that's what I found the most impressive. That's why I wanted to have you on.
That's because Jordan needed help. Sometimes he just couldn't remember some things. So I was tasked with keeping him in line.
This is true.
You were just a freshman. This was your true freshman year, wasn't it, Jordan?
It was, sure was.
This is your second game ever then.
Yeah, this is the second game of the season. So this was your true first big boy basketball game.
This was wasn't it our third game of my freshman year?
Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot Marcus goes bananas right here to start the game, doesn't he?
Yeah, he hits a couple step backs here that are absolutely disgusting.
That one was in Nigel Hayes had a good hand up there and he still buried that thing.
It didn't matter if you were inside Marcus's jockstrap, he was still going to shoot the basketball. So
man,
no hand affected him.
Oh, look at that. We out.
Ooh, look at this defense. All right.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, you gotta check. Oh God.
30.
Oh God.
30.
You need a timeout, Greg. Greg needs a timeout.
We need to regather.
This was just a taste of the volume that it would want to get to in this game too. This was just the first.
Not even 90 seconds in, and you got this.
Yeah.
Got a fever pitch. Look at my man screaming over the camera right there.
Got my man's Kobe on the Filipino flag in Omaha.
Kobe Paras is on this squad, isn't he? That's right.
Oh yeah. This was bench mob. Straight ball, trust fall. Come on, man.
Did you guys don't even? I mean, what was the Kobe hype like in the locker room? Did you guys sense the hysteria around him, how popular he was? Did you guys have any idea?
I mean, to a point, you knew who he was just because of you Google him, and he is a famous person. I mean, there's no doubt about that. His name carries a lot of weight in the Philippines. So I mean, and then we always pulled up on there's a smart TV in the locker room. And we always pulled up Kobe trying to dunk on LeBron. Well, he did dunk on LeBron, kind of. That was definitely pulled up quite a bit that season.
Oh yeah, I think honestly, the locker room part that we noticed the most was just how many Filipino fans would come out, whether it was at like Seton Hall or Georgetown. It was like, wow, he really had like a following, and so that was cool to see. You could feel the weight that way, definitely.
The crazy thing is like he wasn't. Toby had his role, and he accepted his role being the person that he was, which is kudos to him for sure. So I mean, it's a lot of kudos to Toby because he was a humble guy for 99% of
Absolutely.
Yeah, he handled it like surprisingly well. Like I guess the celebrities probably made him have to mature a lot quicker than most freshmen.
He could have helped us a lot too, I think, if he didn't leave.
I never got the idea that he was that he had an ego about it, even though he had to embrace it. But it was interesting though, because like I don't think I was prepared for how popular he was. Like I think I wrote a story on him and Davion just before the season because they were just two freshmen that felt like we were going to try to find a role on the team early on. And then it like was the most viewed story like in White and Blue Review history. Like just blew all the Doug stuff out of the water. Just like it's like insanity. It's like what? It's just a little freshman write-up like about they haven't even played yet. And then I'm getting like I got an email from like CNN over in the Philippines, and they wanted to do an interview on like what Kobe's done so far. And I'm like, is this for real? They're like, yeah.
Oh, the dome.
Yeah. So there's like a legit CNN Philippines hit I did with Kobe. Like I don't even know what the hell's happening right now, but okay. So that's like when I finally grasped the fact that he's like an international superstar.
It was tough. Well, Jordan's freshman year, it was really tough to come into a team
top 25
like ours
team in the country already,
because you're talking, you bring in, you got 5 starters, all right, and then you bring a guy like Isaiah, myself, Zach, who've all started games in their career. I mean, you're talking 8 people deep with starting potential. Yeah. I mean, for a kid like Kobe or Davion to come in and make an impact is tough. It is tough. And they handled their character really well, I believe, that first year. Obviously, Kobe left, but, I mean, we were a deep team this year, really deep team.
Oh, so deep. One of the deepest in the country, easily.
Oh, yeah. Nigel Hayes is a broke jumper, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
He does have a broke jumper. This game, I thought, this team actually, the point earlier I was watching just because I was thinking about the scout team. This team, I think, was the best at the post-hot, the coverage. Like, this team was Justin was so, like, obviously, because of his athleticism and his ability to get from block to block with that. This team was one of the best at it and then we had Zach Hansen. We were in the post. No one was getting much on us. Like this team.
The weird thing is when you look back at it, we had to double the post with Justin often because he still was skinny, dude. He's obviously changed his figure a lot because he's matured so much in the last couple of years. But I mean, like nowadays you put Justin Patton versus Ethan Happ, it's no Ethan, you're never going to double it. You're just going to let Justin do his thing kind of thing.
Right. That's a good point.
You look at it like my senior year and your sophomore year, like how many times did we double the post when I was starting them? You didn't need to because I was a bigger guy. I could hold my own. And I think were to stay, would have gotten away from doing that more. But it definitely had its moments where it was really fun.
This team moved defensively so well, and it was just so connected. And when you have like a Kyrie Thomas, makes things a lot easier.
We couldn't rebound worth a shit in this game, but that's besides the point.
We struggled to rebound early in that year, didn't we?
Yeah.
All year, yeah.
That's Wisconsin's thing, though.
It is Wisconsin's thing. They send their guards and their bigs.
So did we just go 4 minutes without scoring there?
Yes.
Or was that like?
Yeah. No, 3.
That 2 minutes?
It's not even 3.
3 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, like 2.5 minutes. Yeah. So like.
There is a point in this game.
Cole Huff. You talked about defending the post, like Cole Huff had to defend some fives too, because they, you guys would let Justin like kind of guard a 4 that was like a non-range shooter, and then he would be able to come over and alter shots, and play a little bit freely because he would be freed up to roam back there defensively. So Cole Huff deserves some credit too, because he had to guard some. Like I remember he had to guard like Angel Delgado and guys like that, like some really big dudes that had like 50 pounds on him.
That would be that's kind of was our thing though with like a guy like Angel. We always went with the 4 on him, just because he hated it, because we were faster and we could get around him more, and he just couldn't get touches. Like even my senior year, I played the 5. Well, Teeny played the 5, I played the 4 offensively.
Yeah.
But defensively, I guarded the 5. Like you go back to that game. I mean, I'm almost positive that's the game where he cried when we were at Seton Hall, because he couldn't do anything, because we are just defensive scheme, just as props to, the D-Rocks and the Murphs and, the assistant coaches of the world. I mean, they just do such a good job at watching film after day and putting these scouts together. It's just, looking back at it, it's pretty freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember that too, because it would be games like where Angel Delgado would have to guard you or guard Cole Huff. And that would just take him out of the game completely, because he can't do that. Like, he doesn't want to be out on the perimeter. He wants to just stay in there, block shots, hold down as a rim protector. All of our schemes, once we got him out of that post area that he felt comfortable in, exposed him. So, shout out to all of our defensive coaching schemes that were cooked up over those years, man. We had some good ones.
It's crazy. I'm coaching a little bit now, AU wise, for my old program, and like thinking back to like how our coaches did it, like I give them props, because like when I'm in the middle of a game, like I forget to substitute sometimes. I'm just like invested in the game, trying to find like, hey, this kid doesn't have a left hand, doing that scout on the go kind of thing. But like it's mad props to these coaches, and I'll never tell it to their faces, but it definitely made a huge difference.
It's the truth. It's the truth. I get that. Man.
Yeah, that was the year before Jordan got here. You guys caused that meltdown in Newark.
Yeah, I never got to see him cry.
Oh my!
I saw him frustrated. I saw him winded, wheezing, but I didn't see him cry.
That wasn't
Creighton whipped
year?
it. Creighton whipped. No, it was the year. It was the year before this game.
It was the year before.
Yeah, because they beat you on Pink Out Day after that same year.
Right.
Because you guys whipped. I mean, you whipped him so bad. I mean, Willard benched every starter. Like.
Every starter. It was freaking nuts.
They kicked their ass that bad. He benched every starter. Isaiah Whitehead, everybody, like Kadeem Carrington, name it. Like all those dudes, benched them all. Made them all watch like the last 12 minutes of the game from the bench. And Angel Delgado was crying because Creighton was winning so bad.
That was great.
That's awesome. Yeah. If you can make someone cry, you really know you got to.
Yeah, so. Like it was
those. It's so nice because you look back at Angel Delgado, one of the best rebounders in the big. Probably. I mean, I think he's got the biggest record for rebounds.
Yeah,
you look back at it. We made a big difference. So even like the Jesse Govans of the world, dude, or like who's the big bitch from fucking Xavier, the number 40.
Who was?
You know exactly who I'm thinking, Matt.
I know you're talking about.
That's like 300.
Stainbrook.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we did really good job on most of those guys. I mean, there's little times where I feel like we got absolutely destroyed by the 5-man in games.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. But I think that's a credit to just the pace of the offense. That bigs that want to just try to get to it in the post. Like, even with this game, like Nigel Hayes, like he wants to get all his buckets, like mid-range little jab pull-ups. We did not let that happen. Like we definitely made a point to never let guys like bigs get comfortable because of the pace at which we played. I think that was a big factor in that.
Do you think that we now, watching Creighton play right now, are they playing slower now when like compared to what we played? Because if you watch this game, watch the inbounder take the ball out, whether it's Cole, me, whoever. Like, just look how fast we just get it out of the freaking net. and we're like right down their throat of the next possession. I feel like I just haven't seen that yet this year in the games that I've watched. And I could be completely wrong because I haven't seen him in person or nothing. But I was kind of curious to see what your thoughts were on that, Matt, being that you're obviously still there.
It's I do think you guys were one of the fastest but I mean that's a product of like Maurice, Kyrie, Justin, like all those dudes. You guys had a constant firecracker lit up your ass, like where it's just go at every opportunity. Because honestly, like the difference, the disparity in your ability to score efficiently in the quarter court versus transition was pretty big. Like I think you guys knew that if it was a quarter court game, it was advantage more towards your opponent, and you guys needed to get some transition, steal some transition points, So this year's team, no, Nemhard, like they've compared him to Maurice constantly with the pace he plays at. So he's just the game speeds up a little bit for all these newcomers that they haven't quite figured out, how to control the pace yet. But
no, which is
once they get on that, like they're gonna be fast. Like this might be the fastest team they've ever had, honestly.
Yeah, no, I just think I do think that the taking the ball out, that was something that you guys the teams with Maurice established quick because he was very on that. I haven't seen much of that, but I definitely think the pace is similar. Like the pace, I'm watching dudes sprint to the corner and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's the same. It's the same things we used to do.
Definitely.
I think there was one, those first couple of games against Pine Bluff and Kennesaw State this year, were like slogs, like, oh, Zier, damn. You could always hit like a tough one with some dude in his face, like getting knocked over. 4-point. He was like him and Cole Huff like the 4-point play masters. They would always get fouled bearing threes.
Can we go back to Big Z's jump hook? You want to talk about somebody who had an impact in this game? Zach Hansen played probably similar minutes to me. I want to say 16, 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
The dude had 2 jump hooks in this game that were huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was kind of the theme of his last year for him.
Yeah.
Like he was just get his minutes in, bump, bruise, get his couple jump hooks off, be a solid defender for a couple possessions, and get out. Like that was his senior year in a nutshell.
Yeah. Facts.
The other thing about Zach too is like we got to remember is how hurt he was right now.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't think
coming off oh no, this is right before.
He
got injured. He got injured that last game in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah. But what was he coming off of in the off season though? He had something bothering like a knee, and he had knee surgery.
He had a knee surgery. Yeah, I thought he had a knee surgery.
So I remember before this season, like Justin wasn't supposed to be like taking the 5 right away. Like I think he was supposed to play a little reserve role to Zach. But because Zach was banged up with the knee, recovering from the knee surgery all summer, like Justin hit the ground running, and it was like, okay, well, he's ready to go from that standpoint. But Zach was really never healthy this year. I feel bad because you don't want to go through a senior year where you're just like fighting your body the whole time. Toby knows that.
Definitely not.
Don't fucking talk to me about that.
How much fucking cortisone? The amount of cortisone that I've seen shot into your ankle and probably his knee is like that shouldn't be a thing to get you through a college basketball season.
We can discuss that. I've been more open about what all happened. Let me scream at my freaking dog here quick.
We're a dog-friendly podcast. Don't scream.
We are a dog-friendly podcast.
I know you guys love dogs, but she's barking up. She's being a shit.
It's okay.
She wants to watch. She's just jealous that you're not playing the game for her to watch as well with us. She just wants to be on the podcast. She wants to guest feature.
But going back to injuries, Zach and I actually, and Tyler still get together once a year. We actually go out to South Dakota for a weekend. We shoot some pheasants, drink a lot of beer, redneck stuff.
God, I love it.
But it's Jordan's
like, I know what you're
talking about. No, it's it's a ton of fun, and we kind of look back on everything that happened. So like doing these podcasts is so much fun, and like doing that weekend's a ton of fun. But looking back at it, like Zach and I did have a really, and even Cole Huff, you talk about a really similar senior season. Cole was getting his knee drained every other month. Zach was, rehab, minimal practice kind of thing. I only practiced 1 hour a day kind of thing. I got more, it wasn't necessarily cortisone, going off of what Jordan was saying. I got cortisone, every 3 months or whatever the doses or whatever. But before every game, it was lidocaine. And what it did is it just kind of numbed my ankle to a point where it didn't bother me, to a point where I could but play through the game and be successful in the role I had to be. And, I love to tell this story. So like I lived with my now wife in an apartment that it was slate. There's about a 6-foot hallway, like it's the width of it. And it was probably about 15 feet from my bed to the bathroom. I would walk with my hands on the wall, holding myself up, and it'd take me about 20 minutes to walk 15 steps. Jeez. Just because I just couldn't lift my feet. It was like a soft shuffle. But it's what we had to do to be successful. And I told everybody I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be on the floor and help the team. And, looking back at it, did it end my career? A lot of people can say yes. A lot of people can say no. You were trash anyways. But but you know what I mean.
Who have you been talking to? Damn,
dang, man. Who are you?
Get some new friends. Get some new.
Jeez, that's kind of mean. Damn. That's like your mom. Your mom and dad are like, nah, you suck.
You suck.
Yeah.
God damn it, you suck. But no. It was, looking back at it, it was, I have a snap story that I think I sent to Jordan. It was before one of the games of Katie Greer putting the needle in my ankle, and it's disgusting. It's like a freaking 5-inch needle. It's gross. But I remember sending it to everybody, and because not a lot of people knew, not a lot of people knew that's what happened, or Mac always said I was hurt or dealing through pain. People didn't know I was getting a 5-inch needle stuck in my ankle every day. But it comes up every year in your snap stories, so it brings back good memories.
Good memories, great memories of a 5-inch.
You got to get on that. You guys need to get on that Jeremy Anderson.
Jeremy Anderson kick. He would have saved Toby's ankles his senior year.
Seriously,
that's for sure.
Jordan was like a 1-foot dunker by the time he was done with Jeremy Anderson.
Seriously, if going back to this, like if we had a guy like Jeremy, my career would have been completely different. Injury wise, oh my God.
Do you wish you had some of that? The thing what I would say is the change is that I've realized in college basketball, because I'm big into just strength training and whatever, is the change is basketball has made the shift to like functional training. And like we talked about this a lot, and I know the pain you were going through senior year and everything, because obviously we were roommates. So we had in-depth discussions about this.
For Cole.
But do you think like some of that always, you can always count on that.
The heavy jab.
Heavy jab step.
Oh, but do you think having functional training would help? I know we lifted like
last season when Orion unexpectedly decided to step aside. He did so in some ways to make sure
seniors like Tyler and I kind of brought up to Mac. I feel like every senior brings it up that, God bless Dan Bailey.
But I think Coach Garb looked at it as an opportunity. His voice was a little different. His demeanor and approach was a little different.
He changed the flow of their offense.
He changed the flow, but Bo did a great job 2 years prior to up-tempoing this offense, and Coach Garb just took it to another level.
Absolutely. Redefining the role.
If you slow-mo back, he didn't do nothing.
Of course. Yeah, look, there he is. He's like, oh, yeah, my ankle. You have to grab your ankle. You can't miss a open court and not blame it on the injury, even if you're completely fine. you got to be injured for like the next possession, just the next one.
For sure. But going back to Jeremy, if I had a guy like Jeremy, the way I look at it is, Doug was early in his NBA career, wasn't really doing the injury prevention training that he does now. I think that was a big booster into Mac, like an eye-opening experience to Mac. Like, look, Doug isn't in there throwing, at one point I was benching like 275 for 5 or something like that my senior year, and power cleaning 285 or some ridiculous amount.
I remember that. I was there.
So it's just like, that's just, yeah, you need strength, but like, we're not football players, we're not, it's not needed at that point. You're like you said, you're trying to do more injury prevention. I think, along with us seniors kind of saying, yo, Mac, you got to change something. One, you can't have 4-hour practices in January, February, March. Two, we got to get something figured out with this strength training, because it's just if you look at it from Doug's year on, somebody always gets hurt January, February, or March, and it kind of kills us. And if you look back at, like, this is no excuse to like March Madness and like where we were, who we were playing, or the NIT or anything, but we didn't really have the legs we had at the end of the year compared to what we had in the beginning of the year. So I think eventually over time that strength training did affect us to a point that it was noticeable.
I'm glad you said this on record, because it's true that a lot of the upperclassmen are the reason that the strength training at Creighton is what it is today, and practices are the length that they are. I think you guys bringing it up to Mac honestly really got him to look at what the holistic, like, schedule of practices versus lifts and everything was in the season, and kind of like realize that this was a common trend and actually try to change it. So, I mean, shout out to you guys, because I know without you guys actually saying something and bringing it up and actually trying to say, yeah, look, we don't have the legs at the end of the season because XYZ. If that was never done by you guys, I don't think we get a Jeremy. I don't think we get different strength training. I don't think we have a different stretch at the beginning of practices, different routines. So credit to you guys. I'm thankful for it, because I could just tell the change. I was even saying with my brother yesterday, like, how much I was just missing watching Creighton games, because I was just like, you missed the change, like how much I saw it change from my senior year or freshman year to senior year is how much I'm excited for it to see it from when I graduated to however long now, So glad you guys laid the groundwork for some good strength training.
There's such a different feel to it now too. Like you watch like you guys do different stretches, but also like something that's always, a common thing before every game. If you show up early enough, you can see like Jeremy out there with his table, and he's got guys coming through individually. Like that was never going down out there like that before.
If you watch some of the games
standpoint that happens, and then you just look at like the 2 years he's been here. You look at the way the 19-20 team finished, Jordan, your senior year, and then look at last year's team that made the Sweet 16. Like they were like really, really good at the end of the year. They didn't look worn down. They looked fresh. I'm sure last year's team was kind of worn down because that was a grind, just like isolation in basketball. But the 19-20 team, like that Seton Hall game, like you guys looked like you were peaking at that time. You know what I mean? And it's hard not to draw like a conclusion that like it's not a coincidence that Jeremy comes on board and you guys all of a sudden look like your best in March, I suppose.
And the thing, want to know what's funny? I'm glad you brought that up, because you want to know what's funny? The thing about the 19-20 team is the 19-20 team was like the last of like the change from not having Jeremy to having Jeremy. So the 19-20 team was like me, Damian Jefferson, Davion, who all went through like having 2 different trainers, right, at Creighton. And we were my senior year, that point, right? You bring it up. We were all like looking at each other in the locker room before the Seton Hall game. Like, I can't believe we feel this good at this point in the season. Like, really? How does my body feel this good? Like, we were still, Toby knows, because how many dunks did you get off by the end of the Big East season in pregame? How many?
None.
We were having full-blown dunk contests before games, like me in it, like try dunking with 2. And I was like, whoa, this is the difference,
it's a huge difference that needed to happen, and it's going to ultimately lead to longevity and success for the university.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you think about just I mean, like, you watch this game, you know, Dan Bailey's sitting there, you know, again, it's not a knock to Dan as a person. I could have a conversation with Dan all the time. Like, he's a really good dude.
We love Dan. We love Dan.
But like,
everyone knows that.
Well, like, you watch Jeremy, he's active. You know, he's on the floor, he's rolling somebody out. Like you said, he's got his table if he needs to stretch somebody. You know, at one point in this game, Dan does. This was disgusting.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. At one point, Dan does roll out Marcus's calf for him, but like, that's the only time I can even remember Dan helping anybody mid-game. So I mean, it's two different types of athletic training. Dan Bailey was a great football athletic trainer early in his career, kind of carried over to basketball a little bit in the Missouri Valley because we needed to be bigger, and you know, you had the Gregory Anchinites of the world.
Right.
So I mean, it's a good adjustment that needed to happen, that's for sure.
That's a nasty little move by Mo there. That like hesitation and then just like, oop, toss it back.
Dump up, yeah. Throwing the lob with the right too, not the left, the right.
Yeah. Put such good touch.
Oh my, that was disgusting. Why did he shoot that?
Ooh.
Who let him shoot? Oh my. Oh. On the ground. On the ground. I was about to say dive, but then I remembered it was Cole Huff. We don't need that.
No.
Please, that's the last place we need Cole Huff is diving on the floor. Oh, he was animated. Who is this rap? He must have got me hyped.
We're all animated.
I love these jerseys though. I'm mad we went away with these. I love the blue collar, man. The blue collar was so tough. And the trim around the sleeves. We went to this and I forget what happened. It's probably one of Mac's superstitions. I forget what happened, but by my sophomore year, those were gone. And I was like, man, because I remember I scored in the NCAA tournament in this jersey, and then I never saw it again until Johnny sent it to me.
What happened was we went from Nike to Nike Elite.
Yeah,
it was the change. It was the
change because we went, or not Elite, or whatever the two forms of Nike are called.
Yeah,
it's like the Xaviers, and we kind of got on the Xavier and Villanova part of the world.
Yeah, where you're getting the customs. Yeah,
exactly. Like the gear they're getting now. Don't even get me started, dude.
Was this the hoodie squad though? Was this year the hoodie squad?
My senior year.
Yeah, so it's sophomore year.
My senior year was the hoodie squad.
Yeah,
I still have that blue and white hoodie.
I think you guys should bring that back.
Do you know which one I'm the saddest that I still don't know where it is. There's so much Creighton gear that I starting with. I should have known it was a bad start when it was in the Virgin Islands and I lost like my first round of Creighton gear. But the black hoodie, the black hoodie with the cutoff sleeves.
The sleeves. Oh, I
think I remember because I have a video on my phone. I worked out with my buddy at a gym down in Connecticut, and then now I don't know where it is.
SMH, dude.
Hey, but hold on. Toby Hegner checked into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Toby Hegner is in the game.
Look at him roaming there, trapping. Look at that fire.
Look at this.
Just fresh legs. Fresh legs.
Sprint. Look at this. He's trying to warm them up. Oh, this is blue Nike T-shirt, Toby. My favorite. It's my favorite version.
Blue shoes,
I don't
Toby.
think you ever played with that. I don't think you ever played with that.
How did we not choose the Nebraska game first off? Like, come on.
Oh, no, we didn't to watch now. No, had to go Wisconsin, man. Oh. This is my, because like we were saying, this is the loud meter. It was louder here.
I think this was.
And I don't want to watch a game at Pinnacle Bank. You think I want to take 2 hours out of my day to watch a game at Pinnacle Bank? I don't have to.
I think personally, I was playing my best basketball in the fall of my junior year, to be quite honest, healthiness wise. So
I agree.
It is fun to rewatch this. Would it be 16-17 season?
No, I think it was.
Yeah, it is.
It had to be the. When was it that you dunked on Caleb in an open gym? When was that? That was your peak. I think that was your peak.
That would have been either this year or senior year, because Caleb is redshirting right now in this season.
Yeah.
It was one of the two. All I know is that was the peak because I left the gym. I didn't believe what I saw.
It had to have been this year because I had surgery after the season. Remember?
Yeah, and then you never dunked again.
I went back into surgery, or I went into my first of 2 surgeries that year.
When was your last in-game dunk? Was it Nebraska?
No, I dunked my senior year in one of the smaller school games.
Oh, you had a
I
squeaker?
don't remember. Yeah, it was a squeaker.
Hey, better than me. I got none.
I had that. I only had like 4 dunks in my career, to be honest.
Damn,
I didn't even have an attempt.
I wasn't the athletic type. I was more of a shooter.
Same. That's why I feel like we got along so well, right?
Exactly. We just
Jordan, that's what I'm surprised about. Like, that's the one thing that surprises me about like when the end of the rotation guys get in the game. Like, none of you try to punch on anybody. Y'all just try to like
Too cold. Your knees are too cold. You were sitting for 48. Yeah. I would try, but then I would like get in the game. I'd be at the scores table and I'd be like, I couldn't get above the rim now if I wanted to. Like, even if I put all of my might into it. It's just like a lot of sitting.
Because they all come in and they try to like bang threes real quick. I'm like, I wonder like what would happen if they like dunked on somebody, what the crowd would do.
Yeah, I used to tell the story to David and Kobe on the bench. I used to be like, yeah, the only way I could do anything athletic if I was going in the last 2 minutes is if Mac told me I was going in for the last 2 minutes and I could get a heating pad or get on the bike. Like, that's it. And he's not going to do that. So, okay, Maurice.
Because I remember there was one time like, all right. I think there was one time where like you had like a one-handed putback dunk. I think it was like the 2019 like the fall.
I was good at that. I was good at that.
It was like early in the Jeremy Henderson era when you guys were all like dunking every day.
I really wish
Davion was like 2 foot dunking like every single day, like windmilling through his legs.
Yep.
What's going on here? Yeah, Jordan had like a putback dunk, like one-handed stick back, like he just crashed the glass hard and just yammed on one of his teammates. And I'm like, oh my god, Jordan can do that? I was like, why doesn't he? I was like, if you ever did that at the CHI in a game, like the crowd would just be like ripping their shirts off. Like,
yeah, that was I don't know what it was, but once I got like, I just felt I had better body control. Like, really, it was like we would do core correctives with Jeremy, and I think I learned how to jump. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but I think I figured out just like how to jump, like correctly and without like pain. And yeah, no, I got some good ones off. I was able to get like by end of my senior year, I was consistently 2 feet, 2 hands. I could get that. It didn't look great, but I could get it.
Can you still dunk?
I haven't tried in like 2 months now.
I can jump better now than I did in my college career.
We got like Fox hot mic stuff going on. I should probably play this. See if there's anything bad on it.
Right.
No, you can't hear anything until he does the mic test.
Oh, bummer.
I told you I did my research.
You watched this? I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this version. It was funny because this was the first. This is the first game I saw of you guys together. Like, I hadn't seen Marcus play with you guys yet because I was in. You guys played UMKC the first game. This is the second game of the year. And when you guys were playing UMKC, I was in Brookings because the women were playing South Dakota State, and I was like, "Fuck it, that's a better game." So I'm gonna go watch that one instead. So I went and covered that while you guys were playing UMKC. So like so Marcus Foster coming out and like popping step back threes in Nigel Hayes' face. I was like, "Oh my god, that dude's serious."
And to your point earlier too about Justin, like this was kind of Justin's coming out party. It was really this was the beginning of the 2 boys from Omaha because I don't think Justin was supposed to be relied on as much as he was, but he then obviously had the closing like huge dunk and then the outlet to Kyrie, and Kyrie had the dunk. So that's when it became like, oh, 2 boys from Omaha, stay out here.
Justin has an unbelievable second half in this game, which is where I believe he has his true coming out party. Because at one point, which you'll see here in a little bit, is Matt takes the in huddle mic or whatever, and says, "I need you to rebound," and he goes and gets like 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
I don't think Mac knew that the camera was there right away because I think that speech was going to be a lot more fiery than it was.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he like slapped him in the face?
Toby's like right there too, and he's like, "Oh shit, here comes fire and brimstone." And then I think like Mac caught the camera for a second and realized.
Sometimes he definitely knows when the camera's in or out of the huddle. I can tell you that.
I don't even think they do that anymore. Like I think coaches were like, "You got to get this thing out of my face because I got to yell at these guys."
Mac, I think Mac also has a great like, he does his arms up pose and someone's hitting 3 big late in the game. I think it was yours. I'm not too sure.
It's Toby.
It is. I've never seen it.
I haven't either.
I rewatched it this morning.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, he as soon as Toby caught it, he put his arms up. He knew. He was like, that's.
There's been 2 times now that I remember him doing that in big games. It was Isaiah when we were playing Oklahoma my sophomore year, and now obviously I've seen it in this game. Oh, get low. Good box out.
He did it a lot with Tyshawn, Marcus, and Mitch.
But do you want? It used to upset me.
It was an easy call. Like if they were in rhythm, it was like 80% when they were.
But I just used to get mad because he would do it right in front of me. Like do it in your side. Like do it in front of your chair that nobody's sitting in. This is my area. Like this is my. I was so mad. I'm like, if you're not gonna play me, like let me have an area where like the cameras is on me. They why come over? He knew the cameras was there. That's why he went there. I was like, come on, man.
Give me my moment.
Give me my moment. This is for me, Scout Team Jordan, not you, Coach Mac.
Good Toby battling down there.
Getting blocked by guards.
You got some rebounds.
Yeah, I know that's a pass off the glasses, Zach. You should get a dime for that.
That was like the awkward spot on the floor where you want to use the backboard but you can't, and you're already halfway in the air when you're like, I already made my decision.
This Wisconsin team was so good too.
They
brought like everybody. They like went to the Sweet 16 year before, I think, or Elite 8 or something, and then brought everybody back.
No, they went to. This is the year they went to the Sweet 16, I believe.
No, they went. They beat Xavier at the buzzer. Remember, Koenig beat him at the buzzer.
I thought that was this year.
This year they beat Nova in the Sweet 16. Yeah, or in the second round.
Bronson Koenig.
They beat Nova and I think South Carolina or Florida.
Bruh, he's like that his entire life, dude. Like
he has so much shape to his game. So much shape.
Playing against Bronson was so much fun. Because, like, in this game, like, if you watch the end when we go through the line, like, Bronson and I have a moment where we kind of say what's up. Because we played each other since we were in 7th grade. Really? Multiple times a year, just because of AU. And, we weren't friends or rivals or whatever you want to call it, but we still had respect for one another. But he was a killer, dude.
Good D, Toby. I'm not falling for any of that garbage.
He's got a broke jumper. Come on.
This is out of bounds right there. Good D, Toby.
Yeah, what Nigel Hayes really tried to come into the home with T-shirt Toby with a red T-shirt on. Thought he was going to get a dub.
What game was it when Scott Van Pelt gave me the T-shirt Toby name? Do you remember?
I think it was.
Was it?
No.
I don't remember, dude. It stuck after he said it.
I want to say it was the Seton Hall game. Oh my, get up. The Seton Hall. I think it was the Seton Hall game because I think it was when Maurice. Actually, I know.
It was in the fall. It was in the fall, dude.
It had to be. But I remember it. Toby Hegner in his T-shirt from 3. And T-shirt Toby was born.
I was grateful. I think Ziggy wore a T-shirt a couple times in his short career at Creighton, and I was like carrying on the tradition. My God.
No, Marcus loved that was his thing, the tight undershirt.
Yeah.
But he still wears it now. He still wears it.
Rob.
Oh, Toby, that was a good look.
Yeah.
That's not my corner though. That was the right corner. We don't like the right corner.
Not the right corner.
No.
Matt, I want you. This is like side work, but like I wanted to see a percentage of my left corner jumpers and how many I made because I feel like
I'll look it up.
It was stupid, dude. Like this game, I hit a left one. I remember against Nebraska, the left corner, I hit one right in front of Tim Miles one time, and I told him that I kind of got into it with Tim Miles a couple times because I was recruited by Tim.
Got to get into it, bro.
I was recruited by him when he was at Colorado State. And then he went to Nebraska and told me I wasn't going to be big enough to play in the Big Ten.
Ooh.
So us to beat him 5 times was great, but I remember hitting a 3 right in front of him, and I was saying, "Not big enough, huh?"
That's nasty.
That is cold. That's cold.
I liked Tim Miles too as a coach too.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I could back when we were at Colorado
do
State.
without.
That was before he went to. You got to remember that was before he went to Nebraska. Oh, look at that!
He locked his.
Hey, look at you.
The year after they made the NCAA tournament, they were struggling. He locked his players out of the locker room. I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's weak. Yeah, what do you remember about? I forget. This is way back. What do you remember about Mac's halftime speech in this game?
I don't think he was in a good mood going in here.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. That's why I'm like.
Oh, really?
I remember he wasn't in a good mood. So that's why I'm like.
You guys just made a run here to end the half. You guys weren't feeling good?
No, I think we were feeling good, but I think there was like something he brought up. I don't remember. What do you remember, Toby?
Let's check out the halftime stats and see if we can figure out what he was angry about.
Oh yeah, pull up rebounds.
I'm about to. Real quick.
It was
Because I think this is
rebounds.
it definitely
It was like
rebounds.
5 to
It was
15.
definitely. It was
Because
definitely
they had like 16 offensive boards in this game, so if they had like 10 at halftime of it, I'm almost guaranteeing.
Oh yeah, it was your classic. We clean up the boards. We clean up this game. We win this game. That was one of those.
Yeah, it was definitely like thinking about since I've already watched the game. You know what I mean? It was definitely rebounds.
Oh, dude,
if I could pivot on
10,
one thing, it was
10 offensive
rebounds.
boards in the first half.
Yeah, no, that's a problem.
That's
They out rebounded us the entire game.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's when.
They had 16 offensive
Gotta
boards.
love it.
They had 16 offensive boards and 11 threes in the game, but 10 and 8 were in the first half. So like there were much different in second half. So yeah, he was probably. I guarantee he was upset with the offensive rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
You guys only gave up 5-second chance points though.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was often. It was rebounds. Well, and then 2 of the 5 came from freaking Showalter. He had 2 tip-ins late that were really freaking big. Oh, I'm so excited. The second half of this game gets so good, dude.
I feel like that's the theme of this season. That was the theme of this season.
Actually, though, we were a second half team for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the pace.
Well, that's true too.
Pace was there.
Yeah, they're in it. Yep.
Showing Nigel Hayes' like only jump shots of the season.
Didn't he? I'm like his own. Didn't he have like 8 points at halftime?
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to find. It's like 58 something time wise when they pull up the half game. Yeah, it's like 59, 59.50 or something like that.
I wonder what Matt, do you know what the most watched Creighton game on YouTube is?
Jeez, I don't even know. Not a lot of your games are.
It's gotta be Oklahoma.
You're obsessed with this Oklahoma game.
Beer dumped on me. Dude, we were down by 24, dude.
Yeah, the Oklahoma game was crazy. That was insane.
And Buddy Hield was an absolute freaking savage. Oh.
And didn't he do nothing against you guys though?
No, he went off.
He did?
Yeah.
He went off, yeah.
He was going he was going crazy.
All right, we're gonna have to come back for this. We're gonna have you back for that one.
He had him, Isaiah Thomas, and then the long-haired freaking big, 2 huge. I got dunked on horribly twice in that game, dude.
only you would come on the podcast to tell people you got dunked on.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a humble person.
Hey, I get it.
Hey, if you don't jump, you ain't gonna get the block if you don't jump. So it would have been a lot cooler if I got the block, but he got the best of me that time. So it happens.
Dude, Austin Chapman killed him. That 17, 11, and 6 for Chat. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Woo!
Only one turnover too.
Mm-hmm.
11 boards for little chat. That's a big game.
Jeez, yeah.
It's a huge game.
I think Zach had the game-winning tip in, right? Like the game-winning putback, and Z hit
It was a putback, and then he had a jumper. He had like a mid-range jumper that everyone was like, no, yeah.
From Omaha, Nebraska, the Blue Jays working on an upset after 20 minutes. They're on top of number 9 Wisconsin.
Yeah, Buddy was cooking for a stretch. They were down. You guys were down 18, I think, in that game. With like,
I thought it was like 22 or 24 at right out of halftime, I believe.
No,
What was the turning point?
Yeah, what was the turning point? It was the beer.
Me getting beer dumped on my head.
Really? That was it?
That's what everybody remembers from that game.
That was at the end of the first half when that happened. I stunk after that too.
Like actually, like physically smelled terrible.
Well, think about this, Jordan. Think about this, dude. You wanna
Yeah,
talk
sweat and
about
beer don't go
smell,
to well.
the smell of beer and sweat. Yeah.
BO, yeah.
Think about what the bars smell like at 1:45 before everyone's about to go home.
Yeah, because you smelled like the CenturyLink floor, beer, body odor, and sweat. That was it. That's a good recipe for a nice smell. Did anyone guard you after and was like, man, you stink?
They tried to. I think I had like 17 that game too. I think Chat and I both did 17. I had a jumper come out, like I had a jumper die off the back of the rim and fall in that game.
I think the funniest part of that game is you had custom Kyries on. That's the funniest part of that game.
I did have custom Kyries at that point.
Yeah, you hit 3 threes that game. You had a nice one.
Toby thought he had tried to come out there with some swag, and then realized.
And then I realized who I was.
Yeah, blue Nikes are your lifestyle.
The worst part is I still have my blue Tobys from my senior year in my closet.
Yeah. No, those were the best ones.
Oh yes,
I love those Kobe's. We tried to get so many more of those because when we switched, when we were like the Nike League, when we were getting like the Kyrie 2 lows and everything, we were like, wait, but can we get a pair of those Kobe's again? And Johnny hooked it up my senior year and got the pink pair of the Kobe's.
Those were a really cool pair of pink shoes.
Right.
Oh, our pink shoes were like the LeBrons my freshman year. There were a couple of garbage shoes. So
yeah, I remember.
When I saw you guys roll out in the Kobe's that year, I was like, oh, I want to buy those.
Because the difference is, remember when it went from one, it was just like the high top hyper dunk or the low top hyper dunk, just in pink, and you were just like, damn, you like that's.
Was that Epi's senior year too?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember calling him after that game, and I said, "How much you want for the shoes?"
People still DM me about those shoes, man.
Yeah,
like on Instagram and everything, they'll be like, "How much for the KL Kobe's?" And I'm like, "They're not for sale."
They're not.
Like I wore those my last game in like because I wore them obviously on the pink out, which is crazy because it was the day that Kobe had passed. We got those Kobe's, so rest in peace. But that was like mind blowing. And then my senior year, I wore those on the court for my senior like day game, and so those were the last shoes that I wore in the CenturyLink. So those are going nowhere besides in a case in my man cave. Like that's it.
I still have my NCAA Paul George's from senior year where they had the multicolored bottoms.
Those were so tough. Those are very, very tough. Yeah.
0-1 in those shoes though, so I kind of wear those still because I'm like, yeah, I'm 0-1. They don't deserve it.
I don't like to let my mind go to the place that lets me think about like what the NCAA gifts would have been if I would have had an NCAA tournament my senior year, because first of all, we would have been like a 1 or 2 seed, and then second of all, like the gifts that year, I know like the shoes that were out that year, man, I know they were gonna hook it up. But hey,
Actually,
you know, once in a lifetime pandemic. I don't get some shoes. I think it's all right. It'll equal itself out.
It does. As long as you're healthy and stay healthy, that's what matters.
There we go. We have like a voice of reason on this podcast. This is great.
Game feed is weird with all this like.
I told you, dude. It's gonna be like this till like 104.
It's crazy.
Really?
The Big East Banners have fall.
Why? Who's the camera person that was like, "Oh, cut to camera 4 right now"? Like they should be fired. Like if there's like a falling sign, why was that in any way, shape, or form? Oh yeah, we should cut to that. It was probably pre-programmed. They were like, "Yeah, no." At halftime, right before you fade in, look at the Big East sign. Yeah. Nobody was gonna check if the Big East sign was up.
I wonder why they didn't just like repost the. I don't even know, like the Synergy game or something like that. There's no way this is the actual FS1 feed the whole time.
I wish I could get back on Synergy and download those games.
Oh my gosh. I just wish I had Huddle from all the times I used to kill everyone in practice.
Ooh.
I had a crazy Huddle. I made a Huddle and sent it out when I was trying to play overseas last year. And I sent that one out, and that tape was so cool. I still have that one, but there were so many other clips I wanted to go back through. We only got Huddle when you left, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Man, when I tell you Huddle was the best thing, I used to go back after practice, after scout team. Like, you know, the scout teams where you just like this scout team where we have days where we're just killing like starters. Man, when I tell you I would go back and just sit in my apartment senior year and just for like an hour after practice watch the scout team kill, nothing brought me more joy. Nothing brought me more joy. You know me, and then I go back the next day talking about shit like, we killed y'all. How y'all supposed to beat Wisconsin? We was killing y'all. We was killing y'all. You can't guard me. You think you can guard Nigel Hayes? You can't even guard me. How you gonna guard Nigel Hayes? I would go crazy.
Everybody's like, Jordan, you're on the same team, bro. Like, no, fuck that. I killed you.
Yeah. Be like, yo,
was this
Jordan's problem?
Was Teeny the same age as you? Was this Teeny's freshman year?
No, Teeny. Technically, this is his freshman year, right? Because he
redshirted.
He redshirted the year before.
I remember I had to be on scout team because Martine, like, then this is no knock to Martine, like, great dude, love the dude, but like he just couldn't get it. He just couldn't get it. And Murph comes up, he pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey, Toby, I know you're not gonna like this, but you're gonna have to learn scout team as well as our defensive schemes."
Okay, but also, all right. If you're gonna tell it, you being too nice to Teeny here. We love Teeny, but tell the real story. Teeny would just not listen when there was two of the dudes who I love them, like Ronnie and Teeny both love them to death, but like we can't lie to the audience here. Like those dudes had any intention of ever doing anything scout team in their life. And you were just the only dude who was like willing to be like, hey, you know what? If it's for the team, and like dead ass, like you were saying for your like ankle, when you were like, if it's for the team, I'll do it. Like the same way you were like, you know what? If no one else will do this and no one else is gonna listen, because they weren't. We saw how it went.
Yeah.
Love them to death,
exactly.
But they wanted no parts. And so you stepped in, and I was just like, you know what? This might.
I was trying to be a little bit nicer about it, but I mean, you're 100% right.
Yeah, no, you can let me just go out, take it a step further all the time. Don't worry.
Well, you and Teeny are a little closer than I, so you know, if I bash him on here, he'd listen to it. He'd be like,
"Oh, of course.
Oh, that fucking Wisconsin kid." You know, just some bullshit like.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. It's okay. I can bash, like when he comes on, I'll just bash. Like we'll bash about your lateral movement. Like it's fine. Don't worry.
That's my phone book. My phone book of a
your
vertical.
Phone book of a vertical. Yep, that too.
I pulled that one out in the Ja Hens podcast, and I've never like Ja and I are kind of like you and me, like how I was like older and you were younger, but like that was like my relationship when I was younger. He was older. I've never seen him laugh so hard in my life, dude. He was just fucking dying. He was like, "It's so true and so funny."
Because it is. I'm so jealous, man. If I had to only jump a phone book to done, Life would have been so much easier.
God, I'm glad you guys are telling these stories because this is such an awkward game to watch right now.
I told you.
I hadn't gone through this one. I didn't know how weird it was. Like, I don't think.
Warned you.
Anyone rewatch this one? I wonder how many people rewatch this thing. Because this is
1,300 people have rewatched this on YouTube.
That's super awkward.
Super awkward. And it's been. I'm actually. You could probably say it's 13:55 right now. So you subtract the three of us, and the one time I watched it this morning. So realistically, it's only like 13:50.
Well, thank God the second half's about to start.
I do kind of miss the CenturyLink Center though. I still can't get over the CHI Health. I don't know. It just doesn't have a good kick to it.
The clink was so cool, man.
Yeah,
just Just saying it was like so much cooler than. Yeah, you going to the Shy Health? No, yo, we going to the clink. Stop.
No. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
That guy waving. That Wisconsin fan waving to the freaking camera.
The one guy.
Unbelievable.
The one guy. I drove 4 hours to be here.
Dude, Toby, they don't even have the people in the announcers in the arena anymore.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What?
Horrible though.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're not even there.
I heard. I thought sometimes it was like that. Is it always like that now?
I can't. Well, I didn't go to any games in the arena last year, so probably. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like that last year, but this year I don't think I've seen any announcement. I'm trying to think if there's been one.
Because I know COVID, a lot of them have wanted to work from home, safety-wise, for family reasons. But
yeah, but
look at that, 25-15. That's definitely what he was. And the turnovers, I bet you was kind of pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Because realistically, defensively, 4 points in the paint is what Ethan Happ lived off of. And points off turnovers, we had 8, but they only scored 4 points. What else could he be mad at? Unless he just wanted to be mad.
It's just rebounds. They had 10 offensive boards in the first half. That's a lot. That's a ton.
That is a lot. Why did Mac always have to say? First off, actually, I don't even want to talk about that. We're skipping that point.
Rebounds?
How about the no suits thing?
I love the no suits thing.
I love it. Yeah, I'm very about it. What do you think?
I'm very about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird to see GQ GQJ and not see him, all flashy and in his $8,000 suits. But I do fuck with the no suits.
See, the reason I like it is just that I think they look more like a part of the team. Like it makes them feel more formal. And then when we were talking to Mac about it, he was even saying like, the times where he like puts his arm around you and he's like talking to you as you're going back to the huddle. He's like, yeah, I was upset when I was in my arm would come off and there's sweat all over his nice suit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know it's small, but to those things, I'm like, yeah, no, I like it. Like, let the coaches be comfortable. Let them be comfortable.
Watching it now, they look like Secret Service, like bodyguards around you guys.
Yeah. Like, now it is kind of weird to look at. We're all suited up for these things.
Yeah. But the crazy story is Jay Wright's Taylor actually died. Like, I don't know if he died of COVID, but he died during the.
I didn't know that.
And so he doesn't even have like that. So if he wanted to go GQJ, he had to find like a new Taylor, even. So he'd be struggling.
I'm sure he could afford it.
Yeah, I'm sure he could figure something out.
Okay? So like my wife and I. Peyton's and I don't know, Matt, if you ever met Peyton or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I think
you probably did a couple of times. But she's an athletic freak. Like she loves basketball, she loves hockey. So we're always watching games and talking about stuff athletically. She brought up something about. Oh, now I forget. But she was bringing up something about. How am I going to
talk about that pass by Mo real quick? Good God.
Yeah. And the shove in the back on Kyrie, though. Like, yo, actually, let my man live.
Like Zach Showalter. Take the chill pill, dude. Unbelievable. Hey, Jordan.
Talk to me.
Do you want to hear a funny story? So Zach Showalter is a Wisconsin kid, too. But he's a year older than me. So we were playing in a tournament. And this is going back to getting dunked on story to make me feel better about myself. Zach, do you know, like, you're in like a one, like you get a steal on the wing and you do like the loop to get like the angle for the dunk.
The angle of the dunk, yeah.
So Zach Showalter and I we're he gets a steal and we're doing the loop. We're both doing it because I'm meeting this dude at the rim. So we're both doing the loop going towards the rim. And he goes up for a one-handed dunk and I just went up with two hands and I blocked him and he fell on his head and started rolling around on the floor like he was dying. His dad came up to me. I'm 15 years old at the time. He grabs me by the collar. How fucking dare you attack my son like that? You should have just let him dunk on it. Da, 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 da. My coach is like, he's a little dude. He was big at the time too. He come, don't ever fucking touch my kid like that again. He made a clean play just because your son's a little bitch doesn't mean. And he just started going off.
Where's that video on YouTube? I want to find that.
Yeah, man.
It was before YouTube was a big thing.
Oh, bummer.
That was like when I was 15. That was back.
That's like
That was
AAU World
It was like 2010.
Back in the day. No, I remember those AAU fights. AAU was like that. Parents would just get into it. I remember AAU parents that used to yell at coaches, be like, "Give
It's
my
still
son
like
the
that,
ball!"
dude.
Like, yeah. Parents, you should only be allowed to have like one parent, and they should have like a voice level, which if they hit, they gotta go. Because AAU, I remember some crazy like run-ins where it's like parents. Yeah, do you run into parents now? Do you get pushback from parents?
I
You're
told
not
the
playing my
parents that
son
I'm-
enough?
I told my parents that I'm not dealing with it, so don't even bring it up to me. If your son deserves playing time, he's gonna play, kind of thing. I've been treating it more like college, because if these kids really want to play like college, they're gonna have to be coached like college kids. It's gonna be better for them down the line.
Oh, of course.
How
old?
They're 15 this year.
God, I can already tell.
Freshman.
I can already tell Toby's a huge asshole to these kids.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually, you want to keep this between you and me? Clip? Can we get this clipped? Where's the editor in this situation?
No, there's no editing. Whatever you say.
I had
Gabe, play the music. Gabe, play the music.
I had 3 kids leave this year because I was too tough on them.
Oh no.
Oh, tough Toby.
The worst part about it is,
here's the problem is like you came out of playing and didn't have like a gap in your career where you turned into like to gain new perspective on basketball. So like you just came out of it jaded. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I
You're
came
just
out of it like Mac was going at us like all the at D-Rocks, the Lutzes. Like I came out of it freaking hot.
It's like what's that analogy? Now the rabbit has the gun. Like you came out with that. You're like, okay, now it's my turn.
I'm glad you just brought that up. You brought that up because think about it. You were with all the coaches who are like now, like you were with D-Rock, Lutz, all the coaches who had that, who had that, and you even had Sellers. You were with everyone who was trying to get head jobs, so they were on it like that. Like that's how the language used in practice my freshman year to my senior year. Boy, talk about a world of a change.
Do you like you guys? I tell this story a lot. But like, do you guys remember? You guys would have like kids at your practices a lot. There's like a lot of like guests and stuff. So
we taught a lot of kids
some
words that they shouldn't have known.
Down for like PG rated reasons, But I think it was you guys came back from. I think it was the year before this. Maybe it was this year. I don't know. But you guys got whipped at Nova. Like they beat you bad. And you guys came back that Sunday and had a practice after getting home from Philly. And like Lutz and D-Rock and like you're getting mother effed like every different direction because there's no kids in the gym. It was just coaches and players and then me and John. It was like, oh damn.
You wanna hear my favorite story that Zach and I like to relate to? Sophomore year, we did Xavier to Providence or something. We did a long trip or something like that. We were brought to the workout room. The bigs, guards got to sleep in. We were told to report to the workout room at like 7:00 in the morning to D-Rock. It was me, Jeff, Will, Zach, Mo, the old heads. And we're like, what the fuck are we about to do? And D-Rock goes to every treadmill and puts it at like 12 miles an hour. Every single one of them. And we're sitting there like, what the fuck's to happen? D-Rock's like, I'll tell you when to get off. And if you're not on when you're doing like crunches or something on the floor. We went to breakfast at like 8:30, like an hour and a half later. And we were like dead tired. And the guards are like, yo, what's up with you guys? Like, what were you guys doing? And we're like, we just had our asses kicked for an hour and a half. Now we're about to go to practice for 3 hours, beat tired. Like, what the fuck you mean, what's up with us? Oh my God.
Man.
Fucking. I've got so many.
You guys are like zombies, and the guards are like, what's up?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
We had so many of those. That was a D-Rock special. Remember just the mornings we would run? If someone like missed a class, that it was like D-Rock. And it was like only D-Rock though. That's when you knew it was scary because if no other coaches were up at 6 a.m.
D-Rock left, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the year before. And so he was still on it. And we would just be running. He'd be like, we can run. Oh no, remember he was for we wouldn't communicate. There was one time we just wouldn't talk on defense. We can run until we learn how to speak. I was like, oh my God, I know how to speak. So what does that mean? Yeah, we ran for.
You're gonna run until you forget.
There was so many great moments. Like Mac told Zach to change his face at one point because he was like so tired at one in practice. He was like, you look tired. Change your face.
Or no, the bus back to Slovenia is still the best. I didn't. Where is the bridge?
That's a big one by Kyrie.
That is a huge shot.
You guys hit so many big shots in this game. It could have like teetered, you know. This was a battle.
It was close all the way until you know the under 16
until
really teetered.
Until you hit that three.
Nope. I didn't really do much in this game except change the whole outcome. But hey, you know.
Yeah. Full disclosure.
I did my part.
Toby, we were texting last night about this, and Toby was like, "Yeah, I didn't really do much in this game." I was like, "Yeah, you only hit the biggest shot of the whole deal."
And I told him if he comes on my podcast with that humble shit, that he's never allowed on again. You can't lie to our audience. Like, well, Jordan, they continue to listen because we are authentic.
Remember,
we are authentic on this podcast.
Jordan, he's a coach now, so like, there's a motive behind everything he said.
Oh yeah.
Like last night, Jordan called him out too. He's like, he played that humble stuff, so we would compliment him, so it could like boost up his ego, you know, without him having to do it.
I can do that. That's no problem with me.
But it's like a strategy of Toby's. Like, I'm gonna come on here and, you know,
be humble,
undersell it, and then
play the humble
oversell
role. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta undersell it originally, but then then you come out big, and then all those kids are like, "Oh my God, you're the greatest."
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a strategy.
No. This game was. I couldn't believe he hit that shot. I think, if I remember correctly, Mac was like a little bit in front of me, so I had to move to see.
Yeah. He walked down the whole bench.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow.
I remember Mo and I were actually talking about this probably a month or so ago. I remember I tipped it, and Justin got it, and then he he fumbled it, and Kyrie tipped it, and then Maurice just had like 4 guys surrounding him, and he just somehow threw a bounce pass to me in the corner, and it is probably one of my favorite moments, actually.
Yeah, Maurice could see everything.
And didn't you, Toby? If
I was
remember
actually
correct,
talking to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you got it.
No, you got it. You got it.
If I remember correctly, didn't you, because you were on scout team, didn't you put up like 500 shots after practice, every practice leading up to this game?
Probably, yeah.
Because I remember
I was a Missouri Valley recruit, so the way I looked at it, put in the time to make my worth, you know what I mean? So I was big my sophomore and junior year of like, if I have a bad game, Peyton and I went to the gym and she would rebound for me and I'd shoot after the game or whatever. And just mentally get out of a drought. But during this season, you're right, because Teeny and Ronnie weren't really helping on scout team. I had to get shots up another way. And ultimately, it kind of led to I shot the ball pretty well this season, probably because of it. But yeah, I got a lot of shots up after practice when I probably should have been saving my legs.
I'm pretty sure Matt, I'm pretty sure you have the tweet that was at the time. Maybe I'm just making up a memory here, but if I remember correct, because you were shooting after practice, and after you hit that big shot, Matt had tweeted out, like, Toby Hegner played on the scout team this week. He also hit the biggest shot of the game. Like, remember this? Like, I swear, it was something like that. It was like, remember, like, everything matters. Like, it was something along that line.
Oh, I tweet shit like that all the time. Like,
yeah.
Practices for sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it was like a picture you had him when Toby was shooting in the empty empty CenturyLink. After the game, you were like, this is why I do this shot.
There was one for I don't remember tweeting that about. It was a long time ago. I'll have to look it up. But
I mean, it was like 5 years ago, actually.
There's like 100, 200 games in between then and there, though.
Oh yeah.
Only a couple, not a lot. God, get your shit right, Matt.
No, but like there's one. Jordan, I remember one for you was. Remember when Mac's dad was sick right before you guys played Georgetown in the pink out game, you know? And you guys were having a shitty ass practice, like right the day before the game, like your last prep. Like you were at the CHI and it was just terrible. And I think you and Caleb, it was either you and Caleb or you and Teeny, like just huddled everybody up and like lit a fire, and then the rest of the practice was good, and then you beat Georgetown the next day. I was like, they probably lose to Georgetown if like Jordan hadn't done that in practice because they were not locked in.
Yeah, no, we had to be locked in.
There's days that
happened often. But I mean, it goes to your point though. I think shit like that matters, like in your preparation. You know what I mean? So like, to your point about Toby is like, you know, Toby like being on scout team helps the team prepare for this game. So even though he only scored like 5 points, all the work he did that no one got to see is the reason you guys won this game, which is why Toby's an asshole yesterday for something have a big impact on this game, because that's a bunch of nonsense. Like you guys.
So going back to it though, like a lot of my career was the dirty work that was never noticed. You know what I mean? Like I didn't fill up the stat sheet a lot.
Yeah.
You know, there was games where I did. But like I was always guarding the biggest guy my senior year. You know, you watch any film and I always boxed out. You know, stuff like that just goes unnoticed, and you know, you get like hate tweets about how you fucking suck and all that shit when you're playing. So it's just like it kind of leaves that tainted memory a little bit still. You know, yeah, it's been 3 or 4 years now since I played, but like it still has that tainted memory a little bit of like, oh, you know, like I had a kid come up to me in practice one day and say like, you didn't really score that much. Like what the hell happened? And I'm like, if you don't watch any game,
damn.
Yeah, no shit.
Kids say that. Kids are like that.
I made him run so bad for it. That was so great.
Kids would say that to me at camps.
You know, it's yeah.
Same thing.
Well, you know what I mean? It's just a tainted view of something. So like when I say I didn't do a lot in this game, it's not that I didn't do a lot for the team. It was like, you know, a lot of people want to see scoring. A lot of people love Marcus for the way he's for basketball. You know, people love Kyrie because he can score and shoot. You know, like it's just, I wasn't your guy who, you know, there's games where I'll put up 15, 16, 17 in a game easily. There are also games where I'll put up 0, but you know my guy I'm defending also put up 0 or something like that.
Well, look at
just depends on how you look at it.
Let's look at that possession right there, for instance. Like you denied the entry pass to Nigel Hayes on his first post seal. Then you pushed him out from the block, and then Wisconsin had to go late shot clock where they just run over Mo right there and don't get any points. Like they're up 2 right now. If they get that post seal, if they get the entry pass into Nigel, he probably scores, right? Because he's got the
Plus,
seal.
that's Nigel's thing his senior year was that 15-footer. Like it was Nigel and Cole Huff had the most identical team that year. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but the point is, like, you don't get a stat for that, but that's a defensive dub right there. You won that possession right there with that battle. You won that battle. And it matters.
But it happens, and it's
that's
just
why I always go to war.
It's not just me too. You know what I mean?
I'll always go to war for players on Twitter. If like
it's just you and like people. Oh, definitely. But there's people like you, me, Jordan, and peers, and people who are around it more who understand that. The guys that are tweeting at you saying you fucking suck, you didn't do anything, or those are the guys who aren't really people who know the game. You know what I mean? So, but those are the ones that you remember the most or hurt the most because you're like, you get tweeted at and you read, "Wow, you fucking suck tonight," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, but that stuff. That's why I just even like I was saying before about the scout team. That's why I have such an appreciation for guys like you and like I've seen even now and tried to kind of be that for guys in my career, just because like there's a lot of just with basketball in general, like college basketball, there's so much that goes unknown. And I feel like Creighton fans do know that to an extent because they support me and they know obviously I didn't play all that much. I didn't have any of the stats to show anything, but they know at the end of the day how much work I put in and how much work you put in and how much work all the scout team guys who embrace that role, so to speak,
realistically,
put in for this team and matter.
You gotta look at it like, the Tyler Clements, the Jordan Scurrys, I mean, there's so many of them, but you got to look at it like without them being on scout team, the starters or the people playing majority of the minutes don't have a successful career. It doesn't happen. If you don't have a good scout team who prepares you good enough, you're not going to win games.
And the thing I will say too that's different, because I've been asked this question a lot, why it's different the way we talk about scout team at Creighton than any other school. To be honest, it's the pace. You can't play at the pace Creighton plays at if you can't replicate a defense to guard it on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. Most teams don't really emphasize that as much, especially look at the Big East. They're not as reliant on the scout team as Creighton's scout team is definitely the most important scout team of any Big East team. And I'll die on that hill. I believe that. So yeah, no, it's all about the buy-in. And I felt like it mattered. I found a role because I felt like that mattered. And I had people around me who were who were telling me it mattered. TC who were telling me it mattered. Martine, who was yo, the work you put in every day matters. So just creating that environment is huge.
I think it just gets overlooked so much because you see 18,000 people in this video. How many people are thinking about how'd the scout team look this week? You know what I mean? They're not. They're thinking about 44, 46.
But my only thing is, to that point though, I think more fans in Omaha know than most other places.
Yes,
most Creighton fans. I think most real Creighton fans could tell you the impact of a scout team better than any other fans in the country.
Well, I think because you guys talk about it, you guys don't. You don't let it be. You don't let it stay behind the scenes. And I think that's what makes Villanova really good as well. Because you see Jermaine Samuels and Colin Gillespie and all those dudes, they'll always shout out their scout team for their preparation and everything like that. It's that's so. Go ahead and look at the teams that are always successful year in, year out, especially teams that look well prepared, teams that look like they play above their talent, right? Even though they're really talented in the first place, Butler, Creighton, Villanova. Teams that always play above their talent will always credit a scout team for preparing them to execute at that level. Which you see Xavier, Georgetown, St. John's, they'll just their talent has to take them to the finish line. but you don't see them like giving the scout guys like the shine for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, love, facts.
So if you don't get love, how can you you lose your motivation, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that was the thing that would motivate me and that's why I snapped in that practice, before the Georgetown game where like Mac wasn't there, so it wasn't the same like intensity of a practice.
Mm-hmm.
And so guys were kind of like, doing whatever. And that's where I was just like, all right, if you guys respect me, like don't waste my time. Cause I'm here for you. I know I'm not playing in this game, but like don't waste my time. Like if you respect me and what I'm doing for this team, you'll go hard right now and we'll go hard and then we'll beat Georgetown's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just the message there. And guys respond. The fact that all the guys on the teams I played on respond to that type of message says a lot about the type of guys I played with.
I think a lot of it comes down to, every Creighton. It doesn't matter if you're Justin Patton going first round or Tyree Thomas going second round, or if you're Jordan Scurry who walked on, or Tyler Clement who walked on, or Jet who walked. It doesn't matter what part of the roster you are at. We're all one team. We were all one body. It didn't matter if you were scout team, you didn't play, it didn't matter if you were hurt. That's what makes Creighton basketball so great and so important. And that's what's ultimately going to lead to the success of Creighton basketball, to be honest.
Because all we cared about was, remember, at the end of the day, we were like, what's the number next to where it says Creighton in that AP poll? All right, let's keep it moving. Like, that was it.
It didn't matter where you were at draft stock-wise. It didn't matter if you weren't getting enough shots. It didn't. Nobody ever complained about that shit. It was a matter of we're winning for this team, for this city, and for this program. And that's like Jordan said, we're going to die on that hill because that's just what we believe. And that it all comes and stews from the coaching staff, though. You know what I mean? If you don't have a coaching staff that's going to climb that hill and die on that hill with you.
Their messaging was always clear to us. Like, I think that part was always understood.
Yeah, like Mac's been pretty outspoken about the fact that like winning kind of like creates opportunities professionally for certain guys, right? So you look at like there's several paths to like the NBA and making money overseas and things like that, but you look at where Marcus, Mitch, Ty, Dens, all those dudes are right now, like they won so much together, and they all got opportunities right out of the gate. You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard to not think that's a byproduct of them just being successful together. Like, hell, that guy can help us win some way. He'll do this, he'll do that. Maybe the full like arsenal of his skill set isn't like an NBA All-Star, but maybe he'll help us win a championship because the 11th man, the 12th man on the roster is just as important to winning as the number one guy, right? Like, if you've got a horse, then you need some guys who can, get you prepared, keep your culture right, like be good teammates. You know what I mean? That's why you see teams with like one or two superstars and not necessarily a good like collection of parts to make the team. They don't like go far. There's like a ceiling there. Like those dudes
you're already throwing jabs.
They'll get their numbers, but they won't like win together.
Why are you throwing jabs at the Celtics already? Like, geez.
I'm just saying.
I thought we were watching Creighton.
Because they're bums.
They're trash.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm glad we could do this because this is a rough time to be a Boston sports fan. Man.
There's someone on the radio.
Tough time.
There's a new producer on the radio in Omaha, Jordan, that calls them the Celtics, and I can't get it out of my head. I've been waiting to use it on.
Tom Brady leaves Boston, and everybody like, oh, Boston sports suck now. And like,
this
dude's been insufferable since that happened.
I
can't stand it.
We're in a. I don't know what to call this right now. We're in a limbo, like with all of our teams. So I don't even know how to explain it.
The Green Bay Packers haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010, and the Bucks finally won one since 1970. Shut up,
Jordan. What year were you born? What year were you born, Jordan?
96.
See, like you are
9996.
You're spoiled rotten because by the time you got to like the age of where you could like process things,
Yeah. The second my memory kicked in, Tom Brady was like, "Oh, I got you."
Yeah. And
Say less.
The Red Sox.
You gonna remember this?
World Series.
The Red Sox.
Yeah. No, all of Boston sports was
even
like
the Celtics. I mean,
the Celtics, the Bruins,
the big three.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that's not.
Tom Brady leaves, and then Brad Stevens fizzles out, and then it's like, all of a sudden, Jordan's teams are terrible. Dude, you won like 20 championships. Chill out.
You want me to just be complacent and talk about the championships we won when I was
Accept the process, Jordan. Accept the process.
You want me to talk about the championships we won in elementary, middle, high school, and college for the rest of my life? Like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, there are people like Toby just laid it out right there, for instance, that are going like multiple decades without anything. So yeah, you're supposed to be able to like make these things last a little longer than you are right now with your like whininess. So yeah.
Well, you know what? All I know is if I don't have a championship soon, I'm gonna have to start picking a new team, or I'm gonna have to move. I don't know which one. We'll figure. We'll see. We'll see.
You should have jumped on the TV wagon like Marcus did right away. He knew it was coming.
Oh, Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Marcus made a quick jump. He was like, I'm a Bucks fan now.
I should have, but this is the problem though. Like, what does that mean? Are you a Bucks fan or are you just a Tom Brady fan? Because I could say like, oh, I'm just a Tom Brady fan now, but it doesn't really do much because if you're a Bucks fan, what do you do when he leaves?
You
just stop being a fan.
Yeah,
you go back to the Patriots. You go back to the Patriots when Tom Brady's done. Is that the way?
Find your next goat to root for,
or you're like, you know, every Wisconsin person in the world and just stay a Packers fan, no matter how bad they are or how good they are.
I love the Packers because they never get it done when it's time to get it done. That's my favorite.
They choke every year in the fucking playoffs. It's disgusting.
They've had the best team in the best situation like for I don't know 8 years.
Oh yeah,
like of Aaron Rodgers' career, and they've always fizzled. Like
Aaron Rodgers also always sucks. Well, I can't even say that. They showed a statistic the other day when he broke Brett Favre's touchdown record.
Yeah,
like he's got like 440 touchdowns to like 93 interceptions in his career. The dude has like no interceptions.
You say Aaron Rodgers sucks? What?
I feel like he's like. I feel like Rodgers is
like as a person, or do you know him? Or because I mean, you can make. I can hear that one, but as a football player, the things I see him doing in that football field, man. It's a shame he didn't get his own dynasty.
I think he's a little like Rondo-esque that he'll chase the efficiency a little bit, you know, like he knows where those dimes are, and it doesn't always necessarily make the Packers like win, but he'll like his stats will look nice, you know. And when it comes down to it, I think playoff teams exploit that a little bit. Like, all right, where's this cute ass motherfucker gonna go with the ball?
Yeah, I agree.
We'll just play bend but don't break, and we'll make him like, you know, rack up stats but not like kill us with points, you know. So like,
oh, it's so frustrating, dude.
It's crazy. Plus, he's had his own coaches holding him back too, so that helps in some way.
That's true.
Well, LaFleur's doing a good job for you too. I mean, give the dude a break.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys probably could have won the Super Bowl last year. Had you play calling
Probably. Actually, I mean,
they do have Chiefs were a mess by the end of it, so like that was easy pickings.
We do have a chance still. I mean, even this year.
Yeah, you'll probably win.
Bucks are in a repeat. Like, come on now. Like, not Tampa Bay. I'm talking about like Milwaukee. You know, we're good. We're good.
I just went to. I saw him in person, bro, for the first time. I went to.
It's disgusting, dude.
Bucks at Celtics, bro. His shoulder width is like literally block to block. I'm like, how?
I want to know
how is it? He's huge, bro.
I want to know this. Does Giannis have special doors in his house because he can't fit?
Yes. Hey, in Milwaukee, I bet you can afford it. So, I'm gonna guess yes.
Yes, like
and because all his brothers are all similar heights. Well, not. He's probably the tallest, right? But they probably all need that extra door inches in their house. So, yeah, probably.
They just here it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That. Toby's like, get a rebound.
No, did you see my face?
Look at Jordan.
Did you see? I didn't know whether to be uncomfortable or laugh. I didn't know what was going on.
Jordan looks kind of uncomfortable. Like he was like, I don't know whether to be encouraging right now or fearful, but let's go.
Oh shit!
You can tell like that. There was like a glimpse of it's a peripheral.
I look young in this, dude.
It was like, oh boy, yeah. Here comes the game changer right here.
I had no beard, nothing.
Oh, jab. Yep.
Oh, big jab step guy.
Get out
Give me
of
a piece of that.
Oh yeah, give me a board tip. Gets it up.
5 guys.
Oh yeah.
Bang out.
Like why he go stand in front of me? Like I'm trying to. Yeah.
54, 52, something
I never noticed he did that to you, but that's actually kind of comedy.
No, because it's only but it's only where he held his pose. Like he walked down the whole bench and then stopped. I'm like, bro, 2 more feet. Go stand in front of Ben McNair.
What were you screaming right there, Toby?
I was screaming, "This is a very beautiful game."
Yeah.
Go guys, go team.
Hold Kyrie with the pick 6.
No, I was heated. I was getting it from Bronson. And
oh my God! I never noticed there was a guy in a Ted costume at this game, and I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
I should have took a picture with him after the game. Oh, I fumbled there.
I was screaming that this is my fucking city. I did a couple times in my junior and senior year.
Nice.
I did that. You go back to my senior year against Nebraska. I definitely they caught that one all on video too.
Those ones, that one, you was out there potty mouthing it up.
Can we talk about the Toby Hegner flop rule in the Big East now because of me?
No, what was that?
What is this?
I take all credit for
you keep
the flop rule.
Falling over on your
You remember? You don't remember my senior year, dude? I got like, how many times was it a guard in the post and I would flop and I'd get a charge call?
Oh, when they just put the shoulder into your chest. And,
yeah, I'd take the charge, and the next year the flop rule is in place. So I take full credit for the flop rule.
Bang. Oh yeah, I almost ran on the court. I almost ran on the court after that 3.
Oof.
Need a 30.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Toby lit a fire. He's like, I didn't do anything.
Coach McDirt, I need you to grab a rebound. Okay, coach, I got you.
Again, it depends on how you look at it.
It was like, dude, this crowd was insane right now. This game was a wrap.
Yeah, Toby, how much do you miss?
Half minutes left, it was a wrap. I'm telling you.
How much do you?
His forehead right there. Like, what are we doing?
I know this was a night game, but Toby, how much do you miss like Saturday, Sunday, like 2 p.m. tip games?
Love 2 p.m. tip games. Dude,
Or like
the breakfast they served for our pregame meal. Oh my God,
I miss it. I
missed the food, dude. You know what's stupid? You know, like I'm 5 years out of it or whatever now,
Jeez,
or
really?
whatnot. Well, it's 18. No, it's
from this game. Okay, from this game.
Yeah. So 3 years total. So you think about it, like,
wow.
You know, Jordan, you remember like my senior year when we used to get like Qdoba brought in, dude, and we make gigantic like bowls after games, dude, because we were starving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I go to Qdoba now and get a bowl, dude. I don't even eat like half of it because I just
same.
Can't eat.
I remember I used to get when we would have like the chicken, steak tips, mashed potatoes, corn, all that, right? I would have 2 styrofoam things. I would eat one, like, and then bring back half, and then eat later, and then I have another one for like to eat at night.
Yeah.
Like this is just after, so I would have 2 dinners basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't finish a Chipotle bowl, bro.
Yeah, actually though, like we would get 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches or a Chick-fil-A sandwich and like 8 nuggets, dude. Like, not barely the sandwich.
We used to get a bunch of them, and now I'm like, I don't even want to. We used to get as many. You used to stuff them in all your coat pockets, leave it if you got Chick-fil-A.
Did you tell? They probably don't do it anymore, the milkshakes anymore. But did you tell that Matt that we started that shit?
No, I don't think I've actually ever publicly spoken about the milkshakes. I don't think I brought that one.
The milkshake.
Do you remember, Matt, though? Like my senior year, 18, you know, we always it was always like a dessert. There was always like a milkshake or like cookies or something after.
Yeah, okay.
So like Jordan and I were road roomies my junior and senior year. That's why we have a huge relationship, and by far my greatest friend throughout Creighton because of it.
We went hunting together.
But yeah, we did a lot of stuff together. But we were sitting in we were on the road somewhere, and this is kind of right when Uber Eats was starting to become a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan and I looked at each other. We were either watching a Marvel movie or like Star Wars rerun or whatever.
Definitely
and we looked
Star
at
Wars.
each other and we're like, dude, how good does ice cream sound right now? And Jordan was on board immediately, and we're like, Uber Eats, what's up? So we sent a text out to the team, and all of a sudden we had every teammate was like, oh, we want a chocolate, a strawberry. So we all put in this gigantic order, and the coaches walked in on us or walked by and saw us all eating ice cream or something. And we started doing it game after game after game. And then finally Johnny just said, all right, I'll just get you Chick-fil-A milkshakes when we get Chick-fil-A and stuff. So we'd always have dessert after every meal.
And by my senior year, we were getting smoothies after every practice.
That's freaking nuts, dude.
Yo, when we played at in my senior year, the tournament in Vegas, after our practice at the Thomas and Matt, or where UNLV's practice facility is,
really cool practice facility.
Yep, smoothies there, and even Xavier by my senior year, because how Xavier has the smoothie bar in their weight room.
Yep.
Johnny would reach out and ask them if they could hook it up after shoot around, and we would have smoothies there too.
Did you go to the barbecue place still in Cincinnati?
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. Don't you miss it? We gotta hit those places again.
By far one of the best day before game meals.
I forget the name of it. But I bought that. That was my Christmas present. To one of my Christmas presents to my mom that year. I bought her the barbecue sauce from that restaurant. And it was dope because I could take it back because I got her the big one. But hey, when you find private, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. You definitely good. Until you open up your suitcase and the fucking bottles exploded or some shit.
True.
Oh man, we ate at some really good places, dude.
We did.
Really good places.
I have even Milwaukee. When we were in Milwaukee, I'm like, why did I have some of the best sushi in my life in Milwaukee? That's weird.
I'm actually going to the Creighton game this weekend. My wife and I.
Let's go. Pfizer.
My best man in my wedding is going, and one of our newer friends. There's 6 of us. We're all just gonna go down and get hammered and watch the game.
Of course, that's the way Creighton fans do.
Of course. Well, now I can enjoy it a little bit more. It's not my first. I've realized it that I stayed in Omaha after I graduated for a year or 16 months or something like that. I couldn't go to games. I went to some games, obviously, to support my guy here, but and old teammates, but I just couldn't go to games because I wanted to be there's a game where we were playing Gonzaga, dude, and we just weren't playing good. And I'm like, God, I wish it was me kind of mentality.
You didn't go to the Gonzaga game?
I did go to the Gonzaga game.
He was there.
I was there, and I was like, I wish I could be out there. I wish I could help. So I kind of had a.
Yeah, you were too close to it.
It was way too close to it, dude.
That's why I couldn't. Yeah.
The worst part about it too is Peyton always liked to walk around the CenturyLink or CHI. I don't remember what it was that year, but I think it was C-Link. But we would walk around and you'd have 18 people stop you, like, oh, what's up, dude? You want a drink? What are you doing nowadays? And kind of stuff like that. And I kind of I love people. I'm a salesman. I love talking all the time. So it just kind of was I just got old.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I couldn't go last year. Last year would have been weird because I felt like that was my squad still, similar to probably how you felt. And so I'm I don't even know how I could be around them and not go back to the locker room at halftime with them or anything. And I know Mac probably would have let me or whatever, but not the same. And so I was just too close to it. Now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm I don't really know anyone, so I can look at it differently and kind of approach it more as a fan, like you're saying, and more as I guess an alum. So yeah, I'm getting into that appreciation stage. Definitely had a little bit of the damn, wish I was still out there last year, but getting over it now.
That's how it's the first year was tough. Second year was okay, but now going into my third year, I'm like, I can go to a game and relax. 'Cause I don't know. I don't know these guys on a personal level too.
And even the coaches, you know, you don't like. There's how many of the coaches do you even know? It's just Murph,
Lou, Mac, John. I don't know any of the new assistants.
See, yeah. That's what makes me. But I think to that point, I think that's what makes me excited because I'm like, that's the reason I want to go to the game. I want to see that dynamic. Like, is the dynamic between player coach still the same as it was when I was there? When whoever was there, you know, how's it changed?
Can we talk about that pass right there? We're gonna ignore this free throw right now. We're not even gonna watch it. Can we talk about how Bronson?
It was look at see Baju
throw a pass like this. like what's going on there?
What was Maurice saying to you right there before you?
He was talking about like, fuck these guys. Let's put this game away. Let's make these free throws, and then I missed the front end of
and then you missed it. Yep, and then you missed it.
Way to listen to your leader there, Toby.
We had a decent cushion at this point.
We're fine. Watch this. Wait for it. Can't go. I was late on that one.
You're lucky you didn't get called.
I'm surprised they didn't call. Big East refs didn't like me.
They didn't. That's true.
Yeah, they've
scored. Good board.
Back to back.
Calm down. We're good.
He's bored over Ethan.
Yeah, Maurice is like, come on, let's go. You're like, yeah. Chill.
We're getting Zach Hansen a bucket right here, dude. I've come back.
Easy. Baseline.
Yeah, actually, did you see
Look
his
at Z
reaction
with the
right
underrated post entry right there? Wasted no time getting it in there.
Oh no, Z had the money. I learned how to make a post entry from Z.
Yeah, seriously.
Z had to figure that one out. He would get hounded, and he would tell me, he's like, you gotta bounce out to the side and throw it. You gotta whip it. I was like, oh shit.
Really put the spin on it.
Yeah.
Oh, they called that. That wasn't.
Hey.
Yeah, that post entry is underrated right there. They don't even show it either.
No
That's
love.
highlight reel culture, man. He got the wrong play. Like, all credit to Zach for hitting the jump hook, but like that entry pass is money.
Let's talk about Creighton's play designs, dude.
Whew. I don't have time left.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So
Beautiful.
How about this? Give me your favorite. What was your favorite play ran for you? That's what I want. That's what I want to hear.
See, I feel like looking back at it, dude, I didn't really have a lot of plays ran for me. Like realistically, like we had the twist comeback or the twist comeback. It was one of the twist plays, but other than that, there wasn't really. Let's say Toby a 3 kind of thing. I can't remember.
Because it was the comeback. It had to be the twist comeback, right?
Like there's the one fake. There was a couple of 4.
Nah, the twist comeback was insane because that was the one. Whatever the twist was, a twist 3 when it was the shot for the wing.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. The twist 3 was like the shot for the wing, which is like the wing going through an elevator. And if you're me running through an elevator screen to get a shot, hello, sign me up for 20 of those. Like that's all I want to do. And so but the iteration off of that, where the big goes and screens your man and you pop for that 3. I thought that was for sure going to be your favorite play.
No, there's been, I feel like a lot of my 3s came off of transition or like just. I was a big screener.
Oh yeah.
Like I set screens for everybody. Like that's just kind of I knew that's what I had to do, and that's kind of how I got my shots. Like if you look at go back to the Georgetown game my senior year where I had 5 threes. Like none of them were a set play. It was just me setting a ball screen, me setting a ball screen and popping kind of thing. That's just kind of how it was.
That was a good one. I remember that. I was like, "What did you eat last night, bro? I need that."
It was the ice cream before, dude.
There had to be. I think that had to be like 5 Guys milkshakes or something.
Yeah, we were trying. I remember it started with McDonald's, and we were like, "God, McDonald's ice cream's kind of trash, dude." It was actually. You know when it was? There. That was
because it was when we played Northwestern, right? When we played Northwestern at that arena.
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that called?
I got hurt in All-State.
All-State. Thank you. Yeah, that was when we started. I remember because the first order was that McDonald's in Chicago.
Yeah, that's the game I got hurt. It was bad luck when we started the ice cream thing, obviously.
Oh wow, I don't remember that then. I don't remember that right.
That's when I rolled my left ankle.
But wasn't that your senior year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we had to have started the ice cream the year before.
Was it the year before? Was it this year?
It had to have been. We had to have started it because we had to have started it like DePaul, like conference play of the year.
Oh,
and then we remembered it for
going
Northwestern.
into senior year. Yeah.
I thought it happened this year against Marquette.
Yeah.
It was the first game without Maurice. Because you were guarding that Reinhardt dude that was going off, and I think
I was getting shit on. Thanks for bringing that up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You said that, man.
Everybody in the fucking world knows it.
But I think you got like caught on a screen and you rolled your ankle real bad.
Oh no, I rolled my ankle plenty of times, but I rolled my left one at Northwestern, playing Northwestern my senior year because I came back. I know that one for sure because everybody. So you look back at the All-State Arena. Grant Gibbs got hurt our first year. Doug got hurt at the end of that game. Isaiah, that's when Isaiah tore his ACL. The first time. And
the second time he got hurt the second time. It hurt his knees. The first time happened at Xavier.
Okay, there was another injury between that, and then I rolled my ankle playing Northwestern, and I was out for a game and a half.
See, you're right about DePaul, but people hate Cintas Center because Cintas Center was where Maurice tore his ACL and where Z his knee as a freshman. So Cintas Center is like a war zone for Creighton fans.
That game is always a war, period.
Always a war.
That's probably my favorite rivalry to be on. Everybody asks me, like, what's your favorite place to play?
It's I always say the same thing. My favorite arena to play at, Cintas.
It's got to be Xavier because, dude, the fans are sitting right there.
They're right behind you. Yeah, they're right on top of you. Oh, my God, I forgot about that.
And we somehow, like, my junior and senior year, we came out with wins when we shouldn't have, kind of thing.
Yeah, because when Maurice got hurt, and then
we won. That was my birthday, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot
that. My birthday that year.
It was an okay day.
It was,
It was the afternoon game during the day.
It was a 1-for-1 day, not a 2-for-1 or an 0-for-2 game.
It was a 1-for-1 day.
And you have the spirit of competition.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, it's about.
This is about when the freaking roof comes off.
I'm glad we got to watch this together today here because we never even got to celebrate this game because we had a flight to the Virgin Islands the next morning, like 6 a.m. So glad we could.
You poor guys! Oh my God.
Glad we got to celebrate it here today, guys.
Hey Matt. Yeah. Ask Jordan where his suitcase got left.
Oh, he told me this story already. We recorded it like two episodes ago.
How
about that putback right there? I almost had that, dude.
That's like me jumping at the end of the game. Like,
it was
effort right there. But just think if that would have came off.
Toby's like going up at the rim.
See if it would have came off, it would have been sick.
Yeah, but
kind of like Nebraska, dude. If you don't jump, you never know.
Happy wasn't even close though. Apple's like at half court already. You're like, I'm gonna go get this.
I got it. I'm still frustrated. To this day, I've not been able to find a nice picture of that Nebraska game dunk, like both dunks.
Really? There's a nasty one of Davey on. Like
there is a nasty,
one of our photographers.
Cole, remember? Yeah. Cole got that framed for him for Secret Santa.
Oh, really?
Our freshman year. What a nice gift! Like our Secret Santa, Matt. You don't know about the team Secret Santa.
It was horrible, dude. I always got shit.
It used to be gag gifts. Like dudes would get like funny shit that
I got a blow up doll one year. That's what
to put it in perspective.
Fucking Jeff, dude.
So to put it in perspective, that's usually what the gifts are. Like that's the standard of gifts.
Yeah.
But the seniors that year, or Cole was a senior, right? The seniors that year just decided they were going to give like really nice and thoughtful gifts.
It would be Cole's class decided to do that.
Cole got like a really nice framed picture of Davion's dunk at Nebraska, and then Zach Hansen got me like your college essentials kit where it had like the headphones, like pencils, notebooks, like trail mix, like Reese's, like all this stuff, and I was like, this is like I didn't even get as nice of a gift from my own family. Damn, like thank you.
So was it just the seniors, or was like the underclassmen like?
No, just everybody.
Okay.
Well, just the seniors got good. Just the seniors got nice gift, but it was like usually the standard is like get a funny gift for someone. Like if you know something funny about somebody and you get them a gift, go for it.
Jeff got you. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Jeff's one of my
Were you with Peyton when you got it too?
Oh, fuck yeah. Peyton and I actually we dated
for your whole time, right?
My entire time, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
Somehow she's dealt with my bullshit.
You still have the doll?
No. I don't know who. I think I left it in the locker room, dude.
Man, it's my job to ask. My job to ask follow-up questions.
Hey, somebody on that team probably stole it. Somebody took it.
Yeah.
Somebody on that team.
Ronnie has it somewhere.
67-60.
That's not true. Ronnie was my actual.
Oh yeah, your actual roommate.
I never stayed there, but
in that case, he definitely has it.
Yeah, I took Toby's room when he left. It was great.
Great decision.
It was unreal. And Toby gave me a hand-me-down, a queen bed in college when I was rocking out with the twin. You know, the twins they try to give you in the dorms. If it wasn't for Toby, I wouldn't have slept well my whole sophomore.
Is that like out of the kindness of your heart, Toby, or you should not want to move it?
No, it was my guy.
Okay.
Jordan's my guy.
No, you got a new mattress. Stop. You and Peyton got a brand new mattress. And you was just like, if you want it, you got it. And Ronnie was sick. Ronnie was sick.
Saying, like, Ronnie, give me a percentage, like how much of it was like I don't want to deal with it. And
Ronnie was so mad because he was like, bro, you said I could have it, and I was like, nope. Well, I'm here now, so I got it. Like, you want to come take it out the room? Go for it. He was like, because Ronnie pulled put the two twin beds together.
Yeah, he took the twin bed out of my room.
He put the two together, and then when Toby was finally leaving, he was like, man, I'm gonna get this queen. And I was like, psych, I'm here.
Too good. There's Maurice beat up at the end of the game for no reason.
It was not long after that he decided to move or transfer anyways.
Yeah, but he finished that year out. Because I moved in, it was only for the summer.
Yeah.
68-60.
Yeah. See, this is what scared me. I was like, this seems like a long time.
It's about to happen.
Yeah, I mean they never got closer though. Like
no,
Toby hit that three. Toby
this
hit
is
that
the last
Toby hit
kind
that
of big
three,
shot
and
they
they never
had.
got within 5 again. And that was the gap.
He had such a clean jump shot. I wonder what he's doing nowadays.
He's definitely. I think the last I checked, he's overseas.
Yeah,
I don't think he's hooping, dude, because he was doing a lot of stuff because he's partially Indian. He was doing a lot of stuff for that.
I remember that.
And I don't think he was hooping. He might be.
Loose ball, last touch by the Blue Jays. I think Watson injured himself. Yeah. And what happened?
About to get some bang outs here in a minute.
Too close to the sideline, that acts as another defender.
Just think about that. If I didn't get subbed out and Kyrie didn't come in, it would have been me dunking the ball.
Would it have been? Would it have been though?
You would have picked Bronson's pocket and gone down and dunked it.
For sure. It's actually Ethan Happ's pocket. Or no, it is Bronson's pocket.
No, it's Bronson. Right here, yeah.
Is it Bronson or is it the next possession?
No, it's here it comes. It's Bronson. It's on the next possession, I think.
No, the next possession is going to be Justin leaking out. And then it's
maybe it happens after they get to 67.
I just watched this.
I think it's the last two buckets, right? Or two of the last three. Oh, he's angry.
I just fact checked, and the last Bronson Koenig played was for the Bayhawks, the G League team, a year ago. Doesn't have any updates on where he's at now.
There you go. Would never have known that.
Bruno is my friend.
He had his fair share of issues upon leaving, but has really found a home here.
We gotta get we gotta rewatch the NC State game because that thing was bananas in the Virgin Islands. It was like 112 to 90 something.
Ethan Happ's doing his thing out in overseas somewhere.
Overseas.
This looks like
Narrows it down.
It's Italy.
Nice. Italy's good.
Playing pro in Italy.
Right here. Oh. Because Justin's dunk was actually Watt's 10th assist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up after these free throws.
Especially outside, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. Oh, yeah.
That look up, that's one of the oldest tricks in the Philadelphia.
Well, I think Wisconsin scores more, and then it happens like that. But
Watson sold the contact.
yeah, I just remember Bronson
it's definitely right after his free throw.
I remember Bronson tries to cross him and gets it just poked away.
Well, you know, if you get 1 for 2 enough, and they come down and hit 2 and 3, the math will begin to
4
work
personal
for Greg Gard
fouls.
and company.
That's why you extend the game. You force
Yeah, that was another big part of this game was Maurice winning that PG1 battle because that goes a different way, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Because just the contrasting styles, like the way Wisconsin wants to play versus the way you guys want to play. Like whatever point guard can establish that first.
Yeah. Well, he did. Maurice did establish the pace like crazy. Actually, you brought up earlier, the thing that Nembhard does remind me of that Maurice does in a way is just getting the ball, like outletting it up the court as quick as possible, like getting the ball moving.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was how Maurice definitely started games off and was able to establish that we were going to play fast.
And then,
is what I was talking about before. The smallest player on the court.
yeah, because you can just you just feel watching this, right? That Wisconsin's like chasing the game the whole time. They're not comfortable. They're not dictating. They're just kind of like trying to keep up, right?
It's also early in Greg Gard. Obviously, it's only his second season too, so I don't think he really fell into who he is as a head coach yet too.
Mm-hmm. Boy, man, if they can stay healthy this year, that's a good ass team. Johnny Davis is like a baller.
Chucky?
Oh yeah, Chucky's been. Is there anybody who fits like, hey, go play like Wisconsin basketball, like better than Chucky? Like, just make your opponent miserable for 40 minutes and just like bet. Say less.
Mm-hmm. I actually helped coach that team when Chucky was a freshman in high school.
Oh, really?
His AU team, yeah, for a little bit.
Nice.
So I actually me and him have talked every couple months.
He's competitive as hell.
Mm.
Like you just don't like. Not everybody's built like that.
No, and his older brother wasn't built like that at all. They're two different human beings.
Mm.
Wisconsin now out of timeouts.
Can we talk about how Mac has darker hair in this than he does now?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, he's really. I think he's embracing
with
the silver
YouTube,
fox.
so got a lot greater.
Oh, yeah.
I wish he'd grow the goatee out more.
Has been outstanding.
I fucked with it.
He let the beard game happen last year when the mask was covering it up and stuff.
I like when he pulls the off-season goatee. That's cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm like, yeah, that's good. Let yourself go now.
Focus on what you have to do from a defensive perspective. Offensively,
I can only grow facial hair now. I couldn't grow any in college. As you can see.
True.
I used to text Toby every day, being like, bro, how do I do this? I would be in the hotel room like the night before games. I'm like, bro, what do I do? I just want to be able to grow something. Hey, you know what? Know what changed it? The pandemic, I guess. We just needed a pandemic. And my face was like, oh, okay. You want facial hair now that no one can see you ever? I'll do it. I was like, all right.
You know what's that golfing dude that is it Andy North or whatever? What's his name? He's behind Wisconsin's bench right now. He's Van Pelt's boy. Maybe T-shirt Toby happened today. That's what maybe that's when Van Pelt.
It might have been.
I don't remember. It might have been.
His boy is here behind the bench.
It might have been.
I'm gonna say it was. I'm gonna say it was just because that sounds about right.
Here you go, right here. Here's the moment.
Yeah, this is when it pops off.
Let's get right.
Oh no! What the frick?
There he was. Oh, he's out. Yeah, no, he's out.
Oh yeah, this is the first one. Yep. Can we talk about how you didn't take that freaking dribble between?
Didn't take a single one.
Look at that pass.
Joe Pop.
What about Zach's? Oh, here it is.
Oh, here we go. Big bang.
Watch Bronson right here.
Two
dude.
boys.
Yeah.
From Omaha.
Justin gets him.
Oh,
right
I thought he showed Bronson. Bronson was so pissed. Sit down, guys.
Ronnie ran on the court. Kobe had to go grab him.
See, right before the Seton Hall game, your senior year, Jordan, this was the loudest the arena ever got.
Yep.
It was when Justin and Kyrie banged out at the end of this one. Because that was like the Omaha boys were like, we're here, basically.
God, I don't know, dude. Villanova, number 3. We were the last team to beat them before they won a national
That was pretty loud, no joke.
It was loud.
Yeah. But the Omaha boys dunking at the end of this one, it was like a party.
That is true too.
The Villanova game was like stressful. It was like, please score. Because both teams were like, neither team could get stops. It was like,
yeah. I wish WAP would have went up and punched this.
Man, what a game.
Winding down the clock.
just toss the ball in the air, lands on a Wisconsin dude's head. just knocks Bronson out or something.
That'd have been great. I want to know who the guy is with the Twitter.
Look at babyface Jordan in there. Look at babyface Jordan. Look at that.
I look like a small child.
Like a little kid.
And I felt grown as hell. This is my first year at another state, like miles and miles away from my parents. I was like, man, I felt grown. I'm looking like, yo, look at this kid.
Yeah, that's a good way to like wrap it up. Like, it probably had to feel crazy being like, this is your first big game, right?
Yeah.
Your college career. Like, how did that feel getting this win, being in this crowd? Toby experienced it because he came in the year after Doug. And like the Oklahoma game was his first big game, like playing a big role and stuff, and winning that one, coming back from 18 down. What was this like for you, Jordan?
I had never felt so small, man, in my life.
Really?
When 18,000 people erupted, and when they erupted, I knew it was because of what was on the court, but I just took a second to look around the whole arena, man, because it was like, even the Seton Hall game, as loud as it was, and as great as an environment, I just felt small because it was my first time ever being there, and I was like, this is just big. I'm a part of something big now, and it was very cool. Very, very cool.
There's your embrace with Bronson there, Toby.
It's the one time we actually got along.
That's second in time right there, snapshot.
Take a picture quick.
Well, I love this game. I hadn't watched it, though, in a minute, so.
Me either. This was good.
This is good because you not only get the crowd into it, like the crowd, but you have the student section.
Yeah.
Where, like, I wish the student section was more like this on a everyday basis.
Consistent.
But it was definitely one of the better games, student and crowd ratio-wise.
From an energy standpoint, for sure. Man, this game's, it's got to be crazy to play in games like this. I don't know how you guys keep your shit together.
I wouldn't know. Obviously, I didn't really play in many games in them like this while at Creighton, but in high school, I would have a hard time falling asleep after that much adrenaline.
Oh, for sure.
I definitely would.
All right, well, that was our Wisconsin rewatch. Hopefully it helps fill the void before games get rolling again. Hopefully we don't deal with any cancellations left, but...
Better not, because I got tickets to the next one.
That's true. Let's get Toby at least to Marquette. Well, Toby, thanks for taking time out of your day to rewatch this one for me, or for us, I should say. Jordan, for hosting it again. This is your first hosting time, right?
This is the first time I've been on a rewatch game, so yeah.
We're going to have to get you back. Gotta make it like Scurry in the Scrub presents Creighton commentary kind of thing.
Right? Hey, clearly we got to get Toby back on for the Oklahoma game. I need you guys to break that one down.
Yeah,
I never watched that one. I'd be down to watch.
That's a good one to watch.
Yeah, then you guys can we can try to
judge we can get on for that one.
Coaches were saying when they were down 18, but that was a good conversation.
Scary conversation is what
scary conversation.
Toby, was Mo a guinea on that squad?
Yeah.
No. Was he?
Oklahoma?
Yeah, because him and
Zach
battle that year.
Yep. Mo. Big Mo. I haven't talked to Big Mo.
Might be able to get him on. He's out here in Boston with me, man.
That's true. He is.
He lives like 20 minutes away.
Oh, that's not bad. Hey, well, I just want to say thank you for having me. Obviously, it's been a minute since we've all been able to chat, but not only it's been tough with scheduling and stuff like that, but I appreciate it as always. It was fun. It's always fun reliving these moments, man. It's dearly missed in a time where basketball isn't really as big as it was in my life. I don't know about your life, but just it's not the role it used to be. So it's always fun to rewatch it. Kind of still gives me chills like watching some of this shit. So it's good to relive it for sure.
We definitely got to keep doing it then. Got to tap into those memories.
Absolutely.
First of many appearances, maybe then. Well, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the rewatch. Hope you enjoyed Jordan and Toby's walk down memory lane as we got to the end of this one. And
side note.
Yeah.
It's kind of the theme here with Scurry and the Scrub. It's kind of how we just go off on tangents. But
it was like Creighton,
kind of our thing.
Wisconsin with like 40 rabbit holes and mixed around there. Like
I think the people will appreciate it.
I do too. It was entertaining. That's what the point is, right?
Of course.
All right, fellas. Well, I'll catch y'all on the next one.
Cool.
Hey, appreciate you, Toby. Love. Road Roomies for life.
Always. Road Roomies Ranch. Come on now.
Let's go.